Dozens of people claim to see ghosts, demons, and other paranormal creatures every day. The internet is full of first-hand accounts from real people. Granted, a lot of those accounts can be faked, and video and photographic evidence can be doctored. However, some are not so easy to tell. Some people may also have some form of face pareidolia, the psychology of seeing faces in inanimate objects. So, are these people truly seeing something from beyond the mortal plane? Or is it all an elaborate, worldwide, and generation-wide hoax? How do you know if a documented encounter is real or not? You can never really be too sure, but there are some certain factors that I look for, especially in videos, that make me think that it could be real. So one is if an animal is reacting to something, like a dog barking or growling at something. Two, there's a legitimate reason to be filming, like you're filming a child's soccer game, or there's a particularly beautiful sunset you want to capture. Although I do recognize that if something weird is going on, you're going to want to pull out a camera, for proof. Gotta get that evidence. The video is steady. Like mine right now, because I have my phone on a tripod and glaring directly at my face. But when the video is shaky, like that, I call BS. They're just trying to mask the guy in a costume. Usually a Bigfoot costume. I don't want to discount paranormal investigative teams here, although I am more wary of television shows over YouTube channels, but channels that they put out a lot of videos, but the videos that they post aren't really paranormal in nature until the one in question. I'm more inclined to believe that those are real. This is by no means an exhaustive list. This is just some things that I look for. Let's look at this example. Right off the bat, my first problem with this is the emojis in the title. A lot of Amir's videos have emojis in them. Basically, emojis in the title means clickbait. While I didn't include it, it does take a bit of exploring to get to the first encounter, which is this shadow figure with not glowing eyes, but reflective ones. If you have, like, a cat, you know what I mean. It's called eye shine. Now, humans don't have this. But as YouTuber The Barwell pointed out on Nuke's Top 5's coverage of this video, it could be one of OP's friends dressed in black with a balaclava and mirror glasses. Also, every time Amir sees a figure, he goes after it. When it gets to the room, it's gone. Let's see the rest now.
وشو ذا؟ بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله في صوت هنا بسم الله وين اختفى؟ بسم الله في صوت هناك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
I picked this video because it's interesting. You can watch the video and certainly, wonder whether or not it's real or fake. And certainly watching it reviewed by a known paranormal YouTube channel, which is how I discovered this video in the first place, you can certainly leave not sure. If it's real, you probably could think, wow, this is real, because Sir Spooks covered it, or Nuke's Top 5, or Chills. Well, then you got people like me who do a little bit more digging. So first off, there's Amir's YouTube channel. No disrespect intended, but my first instinct looking at his channel is clickbait. There's various genres of content, so not just ghost hunting or exploring abandoned places, although Shadow Man is not his first encounter, nor his last. Now, since there's various genres of content, I am more inclined to believe it's real, but I don't. That's because on the title card, there's a red circle around the Shadow Man, a red arrow pointing to it, and a sad but relieved emoji. It just screams views, which he got 3.2 million of on that video alone, which is on the high end of his average views. Let's move on to some evidence that I think is real. If you're an avid paranormal fan, you know exactly what this picture is. This is the famous Amityville Ghost Boy. The Amityville house is one of the most famous haunted house cases in American history. On November 13, 1974, 23-year-old Ronald J. Defoe Jr. murdered his parents and 4 siblings while they were asleep. 13 months later, the Lutz family purchased the home, but lasted only 28 days before leaving it due to the paranormal activity they experienced in the house. This photo was allegedly taken inside the Amityville house in 1976 and was supposedly captured by Gene Campbell. Campbell is a professional photographer who worked alongside paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. I 100% believe this picture is the real deal. Some, including me, have speculated that this could be the ghost of John Defoe. Why do I believe this photo is real evidence of the supernatural? Because it was taken inside a house where paranormal activity was reported and where a family was brutally murdered. The murder is an undisputed fact. This could very well be the photo of one of those victims. It is not blurry. The boy in the photo looks like John Defoe, even in the afterlife. There was no reason for a living child to be there at the time of the photo. There's a legitimate reason the photo exists. Campbell was working as a photographer alongside the Warren investigation. It just hits all the right checks. I interviewed a local resident who claimed to have had a paranormal encounter. This is what Wade Hikes had to say about his paranormal experience.
My grandmother had died in December of 1980. I guess it was that following spring, sometime around April or May. I had slept in my room, but I slept opposite of my bed. I was actually had my head at the foot end of the bed because there was a nice breeze coming in. And there was a big window, and then I had a small portion of wall going up the side of the window. And sometime in the middle of the night, I got startled. I woke up, and I looked on my wall beside my window, and I saw my grandmother's face.
I wasn't there for the incident, and there's no evidence backing it up, no pictures, video, whatever. It's certainly possible that Hikes truly had a paranormal experience, but it's also likely that he just saw his grandmother's face during a time of grief. There are some physiological explanations for the things that go bump in the night. A possible explanation for this could be a condition called face pareidolia. Face pareidolia is a phenomenon in which an individual sees faces in inanimate objects. A study conducted by the University of New South Wales suggests that the human brain processes the fake face the same way it processes the real faces. What does that mean exactly? Well, the human brain is primed to see faces and recognize faces, so that could explain why we see faces where there are in fact none. This is related to seeing shapes in clouds. You know, like when you look up in the sky and go, oh, that one looks like a dog. You can't see the sky from here, but you guys get the drift. Just the other day, I saw what looked like a dragon fighting a knight. So, that was fun. Had a great daydream about that. But seriously, what is the truth? Are there really ghosts out there? Demons? Cryptids? Aliens? I certainly believe so. There's just so much evidence backing it up. The Amityville Ghost Boy is but one example. I've had my own experiences, that have led me to believe in the paranormal, and if you want to hear all about that, you should go check out the blog, which will be linked in the description. Check it out. Cryptids are just animals, creatures that have not been officially documented by the scientific community. I'm not saying that means that Bigfoot's out there, definitely for sure, but just science hasn't proven it yet, or, you know, Nessie is a plesiosaur that somehow lived all these years. But, you know, the same could be said about sharks, so whatever. But the platypus used to be a cryptid until it was officially documented by the scientific community. You can also read all about that in the blog. Link in the description. And if you really think that Earth is the only planet in the infinite universe that is capable of sustaining life, you are an ignorant fool. There's an infinite world beyond ours, and to suggest that there's nothing out there is just incredibly closed-minded. There's just no way that this here is all there is to the world. I mean, new discoveries are made every year. There are mysteries out there far beyond our current comprehending. And the paranormal, that's just one part of it.